Hello students, welcome to EduRev. Have you ever wondered how a single country can advance social justice, energy security, space access, local industry, and conservation all at once? In the next few minutes, we will travel through 7 stories. The Girl Child, India's power transformation, reusable launch vehicles, the ODOP initiative, a stitched ship voyage, a spider's super silk, and Dugong conservation, and learn why each matters for policy and practice. Let's begin gently with National Girl Child Day and the human story behind the numbers. Observed since 2008 by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, this day reminds us to protect girls' rights in health, education, and safety. In 2026, the theme Educate, Grow, and Empower Daughters renewed the nation's commitment, with Prime Minister Modi underlining schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Progress shows up in data. The sex ratio at birth improved from about 918 in 2014-15 to 930 in 2023-24. And girls' secondary enrollment reached a gross enrollment ratio of 80.2% in 2024-25. Nearly 97.5% of schools now report girls' toilets, reflecting an infrastructure push that supports retention. The government also reported prevention of over 2,000 child marriages and appointment of tens of thousands of child marriage prohibition officers by January 2026. Schemes such as Sukanya Samriddhi have opened over 4.2 crore accounts by 2024, giving families a financial pathway for girls. But numbers don't erase deep challenges. Entrenched son preference, dowry pressures, sex-selective practices, unequal nutrition, and safety concerns continue to limit many girls' futures. For policy, the way forward blends intensified community campaigns, stronger rural health and nutrition services, male and family engagement, and rigorous data monitoring to close gaps. Now shift focus to power, a sector that underpins development and decarbonization alike. The 2025 Year-End Review, released in January 2026, describes a transformational year for India's electricity system. Peak demand handling reached 242.49 gigawatts. Total installed capacity crossed about 509 gigawatts, and renewables recorded historic additions in 2025. Since 2014, renewable capacity grew by roughly 178 gigawatts, with solar and wind leading the surge. Transmission reached a milestone of 5 lakh circuit kilometers, improving grid reach and resilience. Distribution reforms rolled out nearly 19.8 crore smart meters and reduced technical losses, while the supply deficit fell to almost negligible levels. Importantly, India met its NDC target for 50% non-fossil capacity as early as June 2025, signaling a structural shift in the energy mix. Yet the transition still balances new coal capacity, storage targets like pumped hydro and battery systems, and market reforms to keep supply reliable and affordable. Next, a brief look at reusable launch vehicles, an innovation reshaping space economics. RLVs aim to recover and reuse stages, moving closer to aviation-like operations and cutting launch costs by factors of 5 to 20. Operationally, it means controlled re-entry, deceleration through drag or retropropulsion, and precision landing for refurbishment and reuse. Science and engineering challenges include thermal stress, refurbishment costs, and complex risk management for repeated flights. But if successful, RLVs expand access to space, spur commercial activity, and reduce the environmental and financial footprint of launches. From rockets to rural livelihoods, the One District, One Product initiative marks 8 years of local value creation. Launched in 2018 and led by DPIIT, ODOP has identified over 1,200 district products, linking artisans to markets via GEM, Unity malls, and international promotion. The program's strengths are place-based selection, export focus, and leveraging diplomatic channels for global visibility. ODOP illustrates how targeted product strategies can boost inclusive growth and preserve cultural heritage while integrating small producers into modern supply chains. We now sail to a story of heritage. INSV Condinya's engine-free voyage to Oman. Built using the ancient Tangkai-stitched ship method, the 20-meter wooden vessel completed a roughly 17-day wind-powered journey from Porbandar to Muscat in January 2026. Stitched planks, coir ropes, and traditional waterproofing revived millennia-old shipbuilding techniques and demonstrated living maritime knowledge. The voyage combined tradition with modern connectivity through satellite links, symbolizing cultural diplomacy and prospects for a blue economy rooted in heritage. Back on land, nature offers its own engineering marvel in Darwin's bark spider and its silk. A 2025 study showed that only large adult female Kerostris darwini produce the toughest silk recorded, with tensile strength near 1.6 gigapascals. Females 3 to 5 times larger than males. Drives specialized silk production because females build enormous webs spanning rivers to capture big prey. The finding highlights evolutionary trade-offs. Producing ultra-tough silk is metabolically expensive, but confers a high survival advantage for large females. Finally, we turn to conservation policy and a contested project, the proposed Dugong Conservation Center in Tamil Nadu. The Expert Appraisal Committee flagged serious coastal zone concerns in January 2026, noting the site overlaps ecologically sensitive mangroves and seagrass meadows. Dugongs are slow reproducing marine herbivores whose grazing maintains seagrass health, making them an ecosystem engineer and a conservation priority under national and international law. Threats include habitat loss, fishing entanglement, and pollution. So planners must redesign the center to avoid irreversible damage while supporting research and community livelihoods. Across these stories, there is a shared lesson. Data, community engagement, and sensitive design determine whether policies succeed. Whether it is improving sex ratios and school access, expanding renewables reliably, designing reusable rockets, promoting district crafts, reviving maritime heritage, learning from spider silk, or conserving dugongs, the human and ecological contexts matter. For UPSC aspirants and policy actors, the analytical takeaways are clear. Integrate evidence, anticipate trade-offs, and design institutionally robust monitoring systems. Now, a quick recap to anchor the main points. National Girl Child Day highlights tangible gains in sex ratio and school enrollment, but demands social change and rigorous monitoring. India's power sector crossed 509 gigawatts with record renewable additions and early NDC achievement, balanced by storage and distribution reforms. Reusable launch vehicles can cut launch costs and expand access, but bring thermal and refurbishment challenges. ODOP converts local skills into market opportunities while preserving heritage and boosting exports. ANSV Kaundiny's voyage showcased ancient shipbuilding revived for diplomacy and sustainable maritime narratives. Darwin's bark spider teaches us how extreme sexual dimorphism can produce the toughest natural fiber, inspiring biomimetic research. Dugong conservation underscores the need for eco-sensitive project design and regional cooperation to protect seagrass ecosystems. Thank you for joining this wide-ranging tour that links society, technology, economy, history, and conservation in practical policy terms. If these topics sparked your curiosity, explore the full notes and updated data on EduRev to deepen your preparation and understanding. Stay warm, stay curious, and keep asking informed questions. We'll meet again on EduRev for the next lesson.